Ku'otsi Hopa. Thank you for joining us. I am Aaliyah Chavez. We start today in Washington, D.C., where a longtime member of Congress who is Native American has secured one of the most influential roles on Capitol Hill. Chickasaw citizen and Oklahoma Representative Tom Cole is the new chairman of the House Appropriations Committee. After getting the backing of House Republicans last week, Cole will now lead the group of lawmakers that is responsible for setting aside money for almost all of the functions of the federal government. The 10-term, 74-year-old lawmaker said in a statement that he is excited to hit the ground running. Cole is set to remain the co-chair of the Congressional Native American Caucus and has been described by his colleagues as one of the few Republicans that Democrats say they enjoy working with, according to Politico. Staying in Washington, a leader who advanced solutions to sacred site protection and the MMIP crisis has retired, leaving behind a long legacy in the Department of Justice. Tracy Tulu is the outgoing director of the Office of Tribal Justice, which he oversaw for over 20 years. Attorney General Merrick Garland weighed in, saying Tulu built the office from an idea into an institution within the DOJ. As a descendant of the Confederated Tribes of the Colville Reservation, Tulu was a leader in several landmark pieces of legislation, including the Not Invisible Act and Savannah's Act, as well as the Safeguarding Objects of Tribal Patrimony Act and others. In South Dakota, a Native American nonprofit has purchased land in the Black Hills near a sacred site. Officials from the Cheyenne River Youth Project announced it bought 40 acres adjacent to Bear Butte State Park in the western part of the state. The purchase, it says, is in support of a growing movement to return land to Indigenous people. It is not clear how much the organization paid, but that the move hopes to reconnect Native nations to their deep roots in the region. Well, longtime and outgoing president of the Alaska Federation of Natives, Julie Kitka, has been nominated to be the new co-chair of the Denali Commission. She was backed last week by Alaska's congressional delegation for the job, which oversees a variety of federal programs in Alaska. Republican Senator Lisa Murkowski said in a statement, "There is no one more qualified to advocate for economic development in rural Alaska than Kitka." Kitka's nomination will need to be considered by the U.S. Department of Commerce, and if approved, she would replace Jocelyn Fenton, who is the interim federal co-chair. We end our headlines today in Arizona, where ICT's Brandolyn Clark reports on a campus event at Arizona State University that is uplifting Native women.
Alpha Pi Omega hosted its annual matriarch panel as part of ASU's Indigenous Cultures Week. This event, held by the All-Indigenous sorority, spotlights women's achievements and professional paths and aims to empower the university's Native students. I spoke to Seneca Nation citizen Kehala George.
Today we're having the Indigenous Matriarchs panel, which just kind of highlights sisters we have that are alumni and have continued their education or their career, and just showcase like Indigenous women in those professions. Just being an Indigenous woman on campus is hard because for a lot of us, we're the first in our family to pursue a higher education or be accepted into these institutions. So we really represent like a large group of people. So that can be very stressful and hard. So we kind of support each other and uplift each other through those challenges.
Reporting in Tempe, Arizona, Brandolyn Clark, ICT News.